And then the other thing that inspired me in pizza was I worked with Scott Wiener for almost 9 or 10 years doing pizza tours. And my job was to teach a complete history and evolution of pizza and the science behind it. And it wasn't until I started to bake pizza that I really fell in love with it more, because I wanted to understand what good dough was and what made good pizza. And you know what you learn through all that? It's not just an amazing tasting pizza, but it's also the experience that goes in it. So when people say, where are your favorite pizzerias? I go, I always think of a place that makes me happy, and I think of pizza that I love.
Okay. So what have you been doing here in Las Vegas?
Las Vegas, the past week I've been working at Metro Pizza, learning everything from dough to the moon. And now I'm here this week in Vegas. I'm going to be working some demos for a couple of the vendors here, and then I'm going to embark on my first experience competing in the non-traditional category.
Okay. So you work with John Arena,
Yep.
Chris Decker, and those guys are inspirational. So.
Oh, hugely, hugely. So it's like you're there 12 hours, and I don't even want to go home. I want like John was like, do you want to come up here? This was yesterday morning. You know, I'm staying down here, and he's like, do you want to come up to Sky Point? And I'm like, I will absolutely drive 35 minutes up there just to spend the morning in the shop with you.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And I understand you're competing this year in Pizza Expo. What kind of pizza are you going to come up with?
So I designed a pizza that is going to put a smile on the judges' faces. One of the things that I do to pop up, I always have it's called the off the record, it's an unknown pizza. And the purpose of that is to push people out of their comfort zone, to do things that are unconventional and fun. So the pizza that I've chosen to do has a lot of my spirit and my imagination and my humor in it. But at the same time, it presents beautifully, and the flavor emulates something that a lot of people commonly eat, but I deconstructed it and put it on pizza.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
There's pickles involved.
Oh, okay. Pickles and pizza. That's quite an inspiration.
It's either pineapple or pickles with me.
And where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Dayton, Ohio. So I am a Marion's Pizza baby, I should say. That's what I grew up on. And one of the things that I realized, you know, as I started to talk about my story more, is that how important pizza was in my family growing up. We used to, every time that we would travel and in to see my parents, our family would always gather at Marion's Pizza. So my mom would pick us up, and we meet my dad, and we all would eat pizza together. It was the first thing we always did. And it didn't occur to me until this past year. I'm like, wow, pizza's always been such a huge slice of my life and with my family.
That sounds fantastic. Well, all the best to you.
Thank you, and it's great to see you again. I'm grateful to be here and to be able to see all of you and network and say hello in person. It's a gift.
Let me ask you a final question.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for aspiring pizza makers that want to take their pizza to the next level? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to experiment, to try everything, and that the failures are the things that are going to teach you the most. This week, for example, I learned that 1.5% yeast in my Sicilian dough is an extraordinary amount in a bad way. So I think that when you make an error like that and you don't realize it, it's inspiring and it excites you to be like, well, what can I do to make it better? That's why I say it's continuing evolution of growing. So to aspiring pizza makers out there, buy all the books, read them, take them with a grain of salt, and just keep trying. Because if you look at the pizzas that I first started baking, they look nothing like the pizzas I'm baking now. But that's how I've grown.
Yeah, so your pizza kind of has evolved over the time that you've been involved. That's fantastic. And where can people find you if they're looking for Miriam?
They can find me on Instagram at the Za Report. So the idea is it's the and then pizza, Za Report. Originally I started off just somebody that was talking about things in pizza, and it became an educational channel for me to share my story and to share all the stuff, all the things I'm doing in pizza. And I try to really embody the spirit and the love in the pizza community by using that as a vehicle to share as much information I can about my process, you know, the victories and the failures, and because that's how you relate to other people. So to the home pizza bakers out there, anyone that's getting into pizza, experiment and embrace those moments when you don't do it well, and embrace those few moments where you nail it, because they're always going to come and go.
Thank you so much, Miriam.
Thank
All the
you.
best to you in your competition.
Thank you. Pizza is love.